One night, John came in from work after a few weeks of not drinking or doing any drugs that I knew of. I was excited because he wanted to take me out and have some quality time together. I had gone to the doctor that morning and I began to tell him about my visit as he was getting dressed to go out. I was ecstatic at the news I had received. The doctor said that my cervix had thickened so much that I would not have to have surgery. I was happy and bubbly. I had fallen in love with my baby and was ready to meet him or her. I was far enough along to know whether it was a boy or a girl, but the baby didn't cooperate with the ultrasound. You couldn't slap the happy off of my face. But I noticed John was, once again, becoming agitated. He continued to look for a shirt in our closet, and the more I talked, the more agitated he became. He began to raise his voice more and more. He told me that he couldn't care less about what I was saying, and that he didn't want to take me out because Dale had invited us to a party that night, and he was going with or without me. My heart hurt immediately, and the fact that he was so mad and didn't care about the doctor's appointment made me feel empty inside. But I stood there, and I began to become angry. I felt rage building up inside me, and I decided that I'd had enough. I wanted to do what God wanted me to do, but I was tired of trying, and I was exhausted with our relationship. I couldn't take it anymore. I was done. He began to scream at me because the shirt he was looking for wasn't clean, and that meant I was a horrible wife. He pushed me out of his way, and I stood there in shock, once again, because for some reason, every time he did this, still surprised me. I looked at him with hate in my eyes. The pain in my soul was too much to bear anymore, and I could feel evil boiling up inside of me. I saw a look in his eye unlike any look I had ever seen on him. I saw his fists clench, and I noticed his breathing was fast. He bit his lip so hard I thought it would bleed. I knew I needed to run, but I couldn't. Even if I hadn't been paralyzed by the fear in me, I had no path to get around him. I couldn't jump over the bed or I would hurt the baby. I stood in fear and closed my eyes. That's all I could do. Close my eyes and pray. That's when it happened. I felt his fist slam into my face. As my body fell backwards, I felt my feet trip over the laundry basket that I had placed there after I put all of our clothes into the closet. As my body hit the floor, my eyes opened and I felt the shock through my entire body. The pain from my face pierced me, but my entire body felt the pain inside. The man I loved with my entire soul had finally crossed the line. He finally did what I feared would happen. He had finally hit me. He had finally done what I prayed God would never allow to happen. He didn't say a word. He turned around and left. He left me and our baby inside me to lay there in pain, not knowing what he had done to me. Then I realized he did know what he had done to me. He just didn't care. I sat there in shock and finally crawled slowly onto the bed and lay there praying to God that I would be okay. Praying our baby was okay. Praying that God would help me and tell me what to do and where to go. I couldn't tell anyone. That would only make it worse. Where did I go from here? I laid as still as possible on the bed and did nothing but cry and pray. Would he come back to hurt me more? Would he come back and kill me? I had no idea what to think. I was lost. I was empty. Where was God? After the life I had been dealt, where was He? Why would He let this happen? Why would He allow my baby to be at risk? Why had He left me? I wasn't in a position to pray anymore. I wasn't in the mindset to beg anymore. I had searched for God my entire life. Why me? Why now? Why? Colossians 3:19. Husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh with them.